Every day we make decisions about what to do with the stuff we don't need. Once it goes into the garbage, it ends up in the landfill and gets added to the 40 million tons of trash we've thrown out over the past 50 years. And landfills aren't always the best way to deal with our waste. Here's why. A landfill may seem like a big hole in the ground, but there is much more than meets the eye. Today's landfills have protective systems to protect public health and the environment. Experts use these systems to make sure that the stuff that ends up in a landfill stays in a landfill and doesn't contaminate our air, land, and water. These protective systems come with a cost, as much as several $100 million over the next decade to build and operate. Our landfills are filling up. Getting a new landfill approved is becoming very difficult, as no one wants a landfill in their backyard. That's why our existing landfill space should only be used for items that can't be turned into new products. The good news is that most of what ends up in a landfill can be reused, recycled, or composted into new materials. Calgarians have embraced the existing recycling, composting, and waste reduction programs. These efforts have added up to millions of kilograms of material being turned into new products every year. But there is still more we can do. When we look at what's left in our household garbage, we find that more than half is food and yard waste. So what's the big deal if it's buried in the landfill? In nature, there is no waste. When an apple falls to the ground, it breaks down and turns into soil. But that's not what happens when an apple ends up in the landfill. Food and yard waste doesn't break down into soil, compost, or anything useful because there's no oxygen. Worse yet, food and yard waste creates nasty stuff, like liquid leachate, as the moisture from the food and yard waste oozes through the garbage, picking up other contaminants. If not collected and treated, leachate could contaminate groundwater. As the food and yard waste slowly decomposes, it also releases methane, a greenhouse gas that is 21 times stronger than carbon dioxide when it comes to causing climate change. Fortunately, the solution to this problem is simple. Just compost it. Food and yard waste can be reused and turned into nutrient-rich compost. Composting exposes the food and yard waste to oxygen, which allows it to break down as it would in nature into compost, a valuable product that is used in gardens, parks, and farms to improve the soil. That's why the City of Calgary piloted a green cart program. The pilot went well, with participating homes cutting their garbage nearly in half. The food and yard waste collected was turned into compost rather than being buried in the landfill. Composting is another way we are working towards keeping 80% of our garbage out of our landfills. By doing the right thing, reducing, reusing, recycling, and composting, we are making a positive difference today and for our future. Remember, it's too good to waste.